Good evening, my fellow Red Deerians and Central Albertans. Thank you for taking the time to join us this afternoon for another update on our ongoing response to COVID-19 in our community and in our region. Friends, as we now mark 2 months since the City of Red Deer activated our Emergency Operations Center, we know that Red Deerians are incredibly anxious to resume your daily lives, including the use of outdoor and indoor recreation amenities in our community. We also know that there are those among you who are also concerned that public life will open prematurely and that we need to find the right balance in terms of opening community life once again, but also making sure that we're doing everything possible to help prevent the spread of COVID-19 in our community. Today, on behalf of Red Deer City Council and the City of Red Deer, I'm pleased to bring you all an update about our plans for opening some of the community amenities that we know that you all love, and to inform you about the city's phased approach that will take place in alignment with provincial direction and public health orders. As most of you likely know by now, the provincial government announced their relaunch strategy last week. And again, this was a 3-phased relaunch strategy. Since then, the city has been reviewing our plan to understand their plan to understand how it aligns with and applies to the City of Red Deer's programs, services, and amenities. On the heels of the provincial announcement, as I committed to you last week, the City of Red Deer has been reviewing over the past few days the 3-phase provincial plan, and the city will implement a phased approach that is in line with the provincial government's strategy and ensures that we continue as a community to do our due diligence and maintain our vigilance to preventing the spread in the City of Red Deer and region. I would like to emphasize that preventing virus spread remains a top priority for the City of Red Deer and certainly for our Emergency Operations Center. You know, we know that the caseload numbers in the central zone are good, but we still need to remain vigilant, and we will not waver in our commitment to public safety. I'm very pleased today to announce that we will be reopening some outdoor amenities in this first phase over the coming week. So the following amenities will open in the coming days and weeks, including the following. In the first section, skate parks and disc golf are now open as of today. With that said, we cannot stress enough that members of our public please to continue practice physical distancing and to please ensure that public gatherings do not exceed 15 people in alignment with the provincial direction. Yesterday, as crews took fencing down around our city's skate parks, there were indeed a large number of people in a very short amount of time wanting to experience our community amenities. And while we know that our community is anxious to get back to regular life as much as possible, we still need all members of our public to please be mindful of all public health restrictions and orders that do continue to remain in place despite these openings. I've said this often as it relates to amenities that continue to be open, and certainly it applies with new amenities that are opening. The City Emergency Operations Center's ability to keep amenities open directly is linked to our public's compliance with provincial health orders. So as mentioned, we're trying to open amenities in a phased way, but we still need to comply with public health orders. So I thank our members of the public who have been respecting and honoring the provincial public health orders and ask our community to continue to do so. Secondly, and in addition to the opening of skate parks and disc golf amenities, neighborhood asphalt pads, which include features such as basketball courts and neighborhood pickleball, will open in phases starting next Friday, which is May 15th. These amenities will be available as of May 15th for spontaneous, non-contact, unorganized sport only. So that's a way of basically saying we still have to follow the provincial health orders. So not organized gathering, and certainly gatherings that maintain under 15 people. I also will note that the pitch and putt at Great Chief Park will also open as early as May 15th. So again, not a definitive date there, but working towards May 15th. However, Great Chief Park, including Center's Place at Great Chief Park, as well as Edgar Athletic Park, remain closed at this time. So I know that that will be a disappointment to many people. However, we will continue to monitor when those specific amenities fall within the provincial phasing plan. The city has also been connecting with many third-party amenity operators or city partners and organizations that have public amenities, who are, under the province's phase 1 of the plan, able to open at this time. So this would include groups such as, but not limited to, for example, the Red Deer Tennis Club, the Red Deer Pickleball Club, and the Red Deer BMX Club, by way of examples. We know that these groups are planning for and working towards reopening in the coming weeks. And we encourage citizens of Red Deer to check their respective websites of these organizations for more details. The city will share more information as we receive it from these respective groups. And again, I will note that groups that are allowed to open under phase 1 of the provincial plan still must comply with the public health orders. So it's not opening to the way that it was, but it's opening in the new normal that we find ourselves navigating in. And finally, for today, in addition to these new openings that we've announced today, the following amenities continue to remain open. So community sport fields and open park spaces continue to remain open for spontaneous use, as long as users continue to comply with the provincial restrictions on mass gatherings and requirements to maintain physical distancing. The track near Lindsay Thurber High School remains open also for comprehensive use. I also would like to address neighborhood playgrounds and various play structures throughout the community today in today's press conference. So I will say, Red Deer City Council Emergency Operations, we have all fielded many questions about playgrounds, and unfortunately we cannot open them at this time. However, in the coming weeks, city staff will be performing inspections and regular maintenance on playgrounds in preparation for a phased reopening of these structures. We know that this is important to our community, but we want to make sure that those structures are safe and compliant with the provincial health orders. The exact timing of the reopening of playgrounds and playground structures will depend on provincial guidelines. And we appreciate everyone's patience. I know this is hard, particularly for those households who have little kids who are anxiously awaiting them, as we work through many health and safety factors related to playgrounds. So we will continue to address this in the city's emergency operations briefing. With respect to other indoor and outdoor amenities that I haven't mentioned specifically today, the City of Red Deer's Emergency Operations Center will continue to work on a medium to long-term plan for us to be able to welcome citizens back to these much-loved amenities, while still following, and again, this is also an important message, while still following the public health orders and other guidelines and recommendations from Alberta's Chief Medical Officer of Health. With spring upon us, finally, we know that citizens want to use our playgrounds, play sports, visit the splash parks, and return to our recreation centers. Please know that we are working diligently on these plans, and we expect to share more details as soon as they are available. In short order, when the city has information, we will make sure to share that with the public. As a final note, there's also an area that City Council has fielded a lot of questions, and that is with respect to taxation. So as we've noted in previous briefings, the city has made provision, we've canceled supplementary tax, we have allowed for the deferment of property tax payments, and the city also allowed for the deferment of the business improvement area tax. But citizens have been, and rightly so, asking about the actual tax rate bylaw and the actual tax rates. So I've commented on this before. I will say that Red Deer City Council will be deliberating tax rates on Monday. And again, I will caveat these remarks because council has yet to deliberate, but I will say that the administrative recommended option that council will be deliberating on Monday is a combined between all of the property, the local property tax as well as the provincial requisitions. The recommended option looks at an overall net reduction of minus 1.02%, and that is for residential and non-residential tax classes. And again, that's not final until council deliberates it, but that is the administrative recommendation that we'll be starting from. And again, council will be contemplating additional tax operational savings on top of that. So we'll update more on that next week, but I wanted to answer that question before the weekend because I know obviously with the financial hardship that our community, households and businesses are faced with, that is an important piece of information. So again, that's where we're sitting. Council will deliberate. I'll have a final response for you on that next week. In closing, I want to once again thank all of our citizens for everything that you are doing to prevent the spread in our community and to support individuals who need it during these unprecedented and challenging times. Again, while our numbers in the central zone remain low in our community, now is the time to continue to remain vigilant so that these numbers remain low. And again, as a mayor of such a phenomenal community, I'm so very thankful to all of you for your efforts. We have no reported deaths in Red Deer region, and for that we are indeed quite grateful. So please continue to tune into the city's website as well as the provincial website with respect to COVID. I hope you and your loved ones continue to remain safe. I hope that you enjoy your weekend in the ways that you're able to, and I look forward to answering any questions that you may have today. Thank you for tuning in.
Good evening, Red Deer. Welcome to our 5:30 briefing. My name is Karen Mann. I'm the Emergency Operations Center Director for the City of Red Deer's Emergency Operations Center. And tonight I have the opportunity to speak to you about some exciting openings that are going to be taking place throughout the City of Red Deer as we work through the relaunch of some of our amenities and programs. We appreciate having this opportunity to speak to you tonight, and we do appreciate you tuning in. As Mayor Beer mentioned, we are very pleased to be sharing with you some of our plans to reopen recreation amenities in the coming days and weeks. We know that residents are eager to resume some of their normal community life and also balance the ongoing need to consider health risks and the health and safety of our community as a whole. I'm not going to highlight all of the openings that Mayor Beer already spoke to, but I do want to highlight some additional points. I want to stress that while we are opening these amenities, it remains absolutely critical that users follow the guidelines outlined by the Chief Medical Officer of Health. This includes maintaining physical distancing of at least 6 feet or 2 meters. It applies to everyone using or spectating at any amenities or in parks throughout our community, and also to users of our trails and our sidewalks. Unless you live in the same household, you must stay 2 meters or 6 feet away from others as you are using community amenities. We want to encourage people to continue limiting gathering size to no more than 15 people, and that is a maximum. As amenities continue to open, we'll be reminding residents to bring their own equipment and to avoid touching shared spaces like benches, railings, gates, fences, anything like that that they don't have to touch. And if you do touch anything, make sure that you wash or sanitize your hands quickly. We're also encouraging people to bring their own hand sanitizer and to wash their hands frequently as they move throughout our community. I do want to issue some clarification in relation to baseball diamonds. With the exception of Great Chief Park and Edgar Athletic Fields, all of our baseball diamonds are open for spontaneous, non-contact, non-organized sport. And as the mayor mentioned, that's a lot of words. What it really means is for members of the same household or from cohort families to go and enjoy the ball diamonds and bring their own equipment to play baseball, softball, slow pitch, those areas are ready for use. The same health guidelines that I just mentioned about social distancing and gathering size do apply in those areas as well. Following these guidelines in terms of health and safety allows us to continue to open amenities in a phased manner. If we start to experience issues with compliance, or we do not have a level of comfort that people are going to be able to remain safe and healthy as they move throughout our community, it will impact the ability for us to open additional amenities moving forward. So we really are working with you as the residents to ensure that these amenities can continue to open in a phased and methodical manner. In addition to the programs and amenities that Mayor Beer spoke about today, I'm also pleased to share with you that the Waskesiu Environmental Education Society, or WEES, will be launching a modified Green Deer program starting on May 15th. So this is a really exciting initiative that takes place throughout our community. We were initially wondering if Green Deer was going to be able to take place in light of COVID-19, but due to some hard work and some creative thinking from the folks at WEES and their partners, and modified Green Deer program is launching May 15th. Green Deer is a program typically launched each spring, focused on cleaning up our community, which in the spring we start to notice an increase in garbage and debris that floats around and accumulates throughout the winter as the snow is piling up. Resident volunteers through Green Deer help to clean up litter from our parks, our trails, our roadways, and we are pleased to share that WEES is going to be offering this modified program. Starting May 15th, WEES will supply bags and garbage pickers via curbside pickup. Those interested in participating can visit the WEES website at waskesiupark.ca for additional information about how to participate safely. So this is a great initiative as the weather's nice, and a great way to encourage our youth, our kids, and our families to protect the environment and to get out and enjoy nature throughout this COVID-19 situation as well. So we're excited about that. If you want more information or you want to sign up, waskesiupark.ca. We'll also have that link on our reddeer.ca website. Last but certainly not least, I do want to reference playgrounds. So playgrounds were closed in March as a result of the ongoing recommendations of the Chief Medical Officer of Health to ensure the health and safety of our community. This decision to close playgrounds was extremely challenging, and it was definitely impactful to our community and to our staff. While we are not opening playgrounds at this time, based on recommendations of the Chief Medical Officer of Health and in consort in conversation with our neighboring communities across Alberta and Canada, the playground equipment manufacturers, as well as recreation and park associations and experts from across the country, we have done an in-depth risk assessment of playgrounds and determined that at this time, through phase 1, playgrounds will not be reopening in the city of Red Deer due to the number of touch points, the recommendation to sanitize and clean these in great detail at least every 3 hours, and just the ongoing issues with lack of access to hand washing, water on site, and hand sanitization in these areas. We know that this is extremely disappointing. It's disappointing to our kids, it's disappointing to us as parents, and to people who love and care for children. What we do commit to, and we have a very committed plan to continuously work to conduct maintenance and inspections on all of our playgrounds, and to do on-site work to ensure that playgrounds are ready to open when it is safe to do so. So once we get the go-ahead to open our playgrounds after phase 1, or whenever it's safe to do so, we will be ready to go and to welcome you back into our wonderful playgrounds. There are so many of them throughout our community, and nothing nothing would make us happier than to welcome your kids back to the playground. So that is something we are working diligently towards, and we will have more information coming in future weeks on playgrounds. As Mayor Beer mentioned, the skate parks did reopen today. We want to just remind people of the importance of social distancing and gathering size in these areas. We're going to work with our youth in those areas to ensure that they're aware of the social distancing requirements, and we just ask that if you have youth or family members, or if you are a user of the skate parks, that you work with us to ensure that these are safe and healthy places for us to keep open in the coming weeks. So those are open now, and please use them safely as we move forward. We want to let you know that the information that we have highlighted for you today, we know it likely does not answer all of your questions. What we do want to do is continue to communicate with you about what is open in our community, and Mayor Beer has already highlighted some of those things. Green spaces, parks, trails, dog parks, and skate parks are now open. Disc golf is now open. We'll be continuing to add additional amenities in the coming weeks and months as we move forward when it is safe to do so. And we look forward to speaking to you about those additional openings in coming days and weeks as well. It's important that we continue to remain vigilant in our efforts, and we are working with you on that, and we just thank you for your ongoing patience and cooperation as we navigate through this COVID-19 situation. And with that, we are going to answer some questions.
The first question coming to us tonight from our Facebook Live relates to enforcement specifically. So how will we ensure enforcement in places like skate parks where we expect we may see increased users?
That's a great question. And so from the very beginning of the closure of our amenities, I remember speaking to you early on and saying that first and foremost, our goal is to educate. So we want to work with you through providing information to you as users, and working with the youth and with the users of the skate parks to ensure that they understand the requirements around guidelines related to social distancing and gathering size. We don't want to be in a position where we have to either close these amenities or start to issue fines or tickets in these areas. However, if people are non-compliant and they've been warned and they are continuing to be non-compliant in these areas, the options will either be, for those situations, would be either to issue tickets under the environmental public health orders, which is not at all what we want to do, or to unfortunately close those amenities. So what that means is we can continue to work with you and educate you and inform you, and that you can work with each other to inform your kids and your friends about the importance of keeping these amenities open in our community through adherence to those important guidelines from the Chief Medical Officer of Health. Thanks for the question.
The next question we'll pose for Mayor Beer this evening. And the next question is, how do we intend to manage people coming from other communities, whether it be to use our amenities or for visits from other cities where there may be outbreaks occurring?
You know, that is a great question, and I will say that is a question that every municipality across certainly Alberta and across the country has been challenged with. And I would say that Red Deer has a very specific challenge with that for a couple of reasons. One, as you all know, we're the regional hub community. So we're the hub community for Central Albertan. So if you take our regional population, that's about 350,000, 400,000 people who often choose to use essential services and to recreate in the city of Red Deer. And also our central positioning on the QE2 corridor, we're in prime geographic location. I would say a couple things with that. From the regional perspective, I mentioned it before, I host a call every couple of weeks with every mayor in our regional caucus to make sure that our region is in alignment. And we really have, and I want to commend the mayors throughout the region. There's usually about 40 mayors on that call. There really has been strong buy-in and alignment because we all share the same hospital. So I would say that our region is very much in strong position of going together or not going with respect to releasing on specific restrictions and to dialing up on specific restrictions. So I would say, from the regional perspective, I think that there's alignment. I will say it is a challenge. So for example, in some communities have opened amenities potentially that the city of Red Deer hasn't, or hasn't yet. And then emergency operations, people say, well, they have, why hasn't the city? The city of Red Deer's perspective is, we were very quick to get ahead of the curve. Our goal was public safety, and we've remained steadfast in that goal. And we will not compromise on that goal. Even though the case numbers are low here, we still have to remain vigilant. I think that there's a number of pockets, certainly throughout Alberta, that shows even a very small pocket of infection can very quickly spread. Specifically on the question, I will say this. Municipalities don't necessarily have the powers or authorities to ban people from other communities from coming to our community. But having said that, that is why we are in alignment with the provincial plan in a very cautious way. If, for example, there are some gray areas that we interpreted on one side of the equation and opened prematurely, one very critical factor is that it would put Red Deerians and Central Albertans at risk. So if, for example, we open something that communities across the province haven't opened because it falls in that kind of gray area, we could potentially be putting our citizens at risk, because then everybody's looking for something to do. So I will say that is not the approach that we'll be taking. We will still be taking a very cautious approach. This isn't necessarily something where we want to be the city that's opening everything first for that very reason. The second point I'll make on with respect to provincial travel is, and the Premier and the Chief Medical Officer of Health have made it very clear that this is not a time for non-essential travel. So if we are opening a skate park, is a great example, we're opening those amenities, believing that people will abide by the provincial health orders. That's non-essential travel if you don't live in Red Deer. But if you do live in Red Deer, that is an amenity that's available to you and your loved ones. And as long as people are abiding by distancing. All of the openings that have taken place today and that will take place over the coming week and certainly in different phases of the plan, they're all under the caveat that they will remain open as long as public health orders are able to be abided by. It was a challenge when skate parks, for example, opened because people were anxious to use them. So it's absolutely imperative that distancing continues to occur. They will be closely monitored, and if, for example, we find that amenities, that distancing isn't being honored, that will put the city in a very challenging position about what we'll do with that. So I know that there were a lot of parts to that answer, but it's a very complex factor. But I will say this. Our mandate is to serve Red Deerians, and so we will serve Red Deerians first and foremost. We're working with our region to make sure that there's alignment, and we will closely monitor that, and certainly we have a direct line to the province. If we find that there's a lot of intra-provincial travel that's not essential, we will be communicating that with the province for them to address.
Another question we fielded this evening, I will pass to Director Karen Mann. With the openings that you've announced today, one of the questions has been around why the decision was made not to open Great Chief Park ball diamonds and Edgar Industrial Field ball diamonds.
That's a great question. And so there's a number of different pieces to the decision to open a variety of amenities in a phased manner. So first and foremost, one of the reasons for this is that we are starting in a very slow and methodical manner to open amenities throughout our community that we believe will attract small groups of spontaneous, non-contact, non-organized sports or activities throughout our community. And so our community ball diamonds throughout the neighborhoods and areas such as that are generally used more commonly for that type of spontaneous activity, whereas in Great Chief Park and in Edgar Industrial Park, those tend to be areas that host organized sports as their primary focus. Additionally, they take additional time to get up and prepared for ball season, and so that is currently underway. Additionally, there are a lot of on-site amenities in these areas, and due to the provincial health restrictions right now, those amenities would need to remain closed, which would impact the type of experience in those particular areas. That being said, all of our recreation facilities and amenities, as well as our programs, are under a detailed risk assessment right now, and we are working to conduct risk assessments on all openings in amenities and programs and facilities, and we'll continue to open things in a phased manner as it is safe to do so. And once again, I just remind you that our ability to move those phases forward is going to be directly contingent on two things. Number one, the direction of the Chief Medical Officer of Health in Alberta Health in ensuring that we follow all of their guidelines. And the second one is that our public is working together and with us to ensure that those areas remain safe and that we are respecting the provincial guidelines in those spaces. Thanks for the question.
The next question I will direct towards Mayor Terabier. At this time, we're going to shift to a few media questions that we have from local media. Josh with Red Deer News Now. Is the city concerned in any way that any part of the province's reopening is perhaps being done too soon or preemptively?
That's a great question. Hi, Josh. Thank you. I just want to come back to the earlier question, just if I can, just to round out what the great response from Director Mann. Part of the facilities that have been open are those that there still remains a provincial regulation in place that there cannot be public gatherings of more than 15 people. The province may amend that in the future, but anything that would attract more than 15 people at a time and the congregation of more than 15 people would be in breach of the provincial health order. So that's really the short answer on why some amenities and not others. So coming to your question, Josh, I will say this. I would say in principle, the City of Red Deer supports the provincial plan for two critical factors. One, it recognizes a phased approach. As we headed into the pandemic, we saw a phasing in terms of the restrictions that were put in place when the health science made it necessary to do so. And we support the fact that it's a phased relaunch plan, recognizing that there are some areas that pose less risk to the public and some areas that could still potentially pose risk to public health and safety. But the second part that I think is important, the phase one, there's an important caveat in the plan. And that caveat basically says, depending on the numbers and the compliance with public health orders still in place, and the number of cases in the province and our ability as a province to be able to respond to those cases, phase two and subsequently phase three, we will not enter subsequent phases until we have absolute certainty in the name of public health and safety with respect to the phasing. And again, I think as a city, our job is to be in complete compliance with the provincial plan. And then we need to weigh and measure the risks or non-risks to our public as we go through our local layer of restrictions and public health orders. So I would say on principle, we support the phasing of the plan. We support the very strong condition that it will depend on the health of the people of our province. And third, as a final point, it does allow for local flexibility and autonomy. It's not prescriptive in a couple of areas. I think that there are some areas where we've needed to seek clarification because maybe they were a gray area. But there are a lot of areas where they've given local autonomy so that we can respond to the needs of our community. So I would say on principle, and again, I would really hope that phase one would be a cautious relaunch, and that's really the approach that we've taken, open up where insofar as much as possible to obviously support community life, support our local economy, but not compromise on public safety in that exercise.
Thank you, Mayor Beer. The next question we will have Director Mann respond to. Director Mann. This question is from Josh with RD News Now. So today, the town of Sylvan Lake announced its relaunch plan, noting that playgrounds will remain closed because if they open, they need to be sanitized every 3 hours. Is the city prepared to do that if and when playgrounds are reopened? And what will be the process for sanitizing them?
That's a great question, Josh, and it's one example of what Mayor Beer was just speaking to in terms of the opportunities that we have as our community to make independent decisions and to have a regional approach in terms of a phased relaunch. Playgrounds are extremely challenging for a number of reasons that I've already mentioned, specifically the number of touch points, the number of users, the number of playgrounds, and also the lack of access to on-site hand washing and washroom facilities in a lot of these areas. As washroom facilities remain closed in the parks that do have them, it just eliminates hand washing on site and relies completely on people being able to bring their own hand sanitizer. In terms of sanitation, we did also understand that the recommendation would be to clean the playground structures at least every 3 hours, to ensure that they were sanitized regularly. I'll speak from two perspectives. One is my perspective as Emergency Operations Center Director, which is that that would be extremely challenging to do due to the number of playgrounds and just the logistics around that. And also the environmental impact of constantly sanitizing things in our neighborhoods where people are using other amenities in the area. It's not just sanitizing the playgrounds, it's also impacting the usability of those areas during that sanitation process perhaps. And I'll use my other hat, which is as a parent, and if you are on the playground and using it, to be interrupted and have to remove users from that area every 3 hours and have kids leave or wait or stand by would be extremely logistically challenging and extremely frustrating for parents. So with that in mind, it makes a lot of sense for us to continue to monitor what's going on in playgrounds. And I can honestly say that the risk assessment that's been conducted around opening playgrounds, because it is something that we look forward to doing, has been one of the most in-depth risk assessments that we've done around anything in this situation. And it's involved conversations with the equipment manufacturers, it's involved conversations with our regional partners. The communities throughout the province are asking the same question, and the answers that we've heard across the board from not just within Alberta but across the country in weighing all of the information that we've received on this is that very few, if any, municipalities of our size are going to be opening playgrounds at this in this early phase, but it is something that we look forward to doing in future phases. So thanks for the question, and hopefully that helped to answer it.
Thank you, Director Mann. I will invite Mayor Terravere up for closing remarks.
Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in and for your engagement tonight and for your great questions. As always, the city's call center remains open, 342-8111. Our call center staff will do their absolute best to answer any municipal questions you have and to connect you with any federal and provincial resources that you may need in the financial interests of your household and business, and certainly for the health and safety of your loved ones. We hope you have a great weekend and enjoy it in the ways that are available to us during these challenging times. Thank you all for your efforts. Again, council will be deliberating early next week, and we'll schedule another press conference for next week and invite you to that. And as always, invite your questions in the meantime on social media or to email City Hall or call the call center. Otherwise, we look forward to our next live press conference. Thank you, everybody.